I'm excited about tonight. We've got Bobby Gandy is our special guest. Uh, Bobby has a really kind of unique story because he's never been involved in network marketing or affiliate marketing. He has a very professional background. He spent 6 years in the Navy or in the military, I think it was the Navy. He spent time in the Texas oil fields. He worked as an optometrist for 20 years. And for the last 15 years, he's been in the portable carport dealership sales business. So a very varied background. And when we talked recently, he said, I wouldn't describe getting my first 10 players deployed as easy, but it was really kind of simple. It was a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. And he said, but I had to learn how to yank the doors just like everybody else. And since joining Ihub Meta right before the beta closed, he got in right before the beta closed. He's deployed over 50 players. He's on track to be one of the many people on this team that will do 100 plus players deployed by the first of the year. I'm really excited because I think his story in this session will provide some insights, because I think there's a lot of people that are kind of will really be able to relate with him, because he's never been exposed to all the hype about nothing that network marketing is full of. We've all network marketing more today than ever. You know, this new travel deal, this CBD. It's like, dude, you can buy that at the gas station, but it's new in our formula, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't heard all that crap over the years. That a lot of network marketers have been exposed to, especially over the last 20 years. And he was able to just get out his calculator, punch in some numbers, and see the opportunity for himself and think, this looks really good. And the last time we talked, he said, Dale, for the first time in my career, in my life, I have an opportunity to create financial independence. And I'm just not going to take it for granted. I'm going to give it all I have. And it kind of reminded me of when I talked to Michael Clark. He said, Michael, first time, he said, this is a chance for me to do something I've never had the chance to do in my life. So we have a wide variety of people here from many different backgrounds. I believe many are starting to see what Bobby sees on this team. You're starting to understand that maybe for the first time in your life, you have a real opportunity for financial independence. And like everyone, Bobby just kind of had to prove it to himself that it was just really was as simple as yanking on doors and giving away a free product of value to business owners. That it really was that easy. I mean, everybody has to kind of prove that to themselves. And some of you are laughing because you know exactly, we've all gone through this. We all travel the same road. But I sincerely believe that his experience, I'm supposed to stop sharing, his experience to this point on his journey, it's been very timely. And I think it will speak to a lot of you guys tonight. Bobby, let me take this off the screen, and I hope you can hear me, and just welcome and thanks for being with us tonight. Say something, Bobby. Bobby Gandy, are you here? If he's not here, something's gone bad wrong. Do you see him, Alan? Bobby. Oh, that's concerning. I hope he's okay, sincerely, because I just talked to him. He's here every single week. take everybody off mute, Don.
He's here.
Oh, okay, we'll get everybody off mute.
He was off mute a second ago. Maybe does anybody see him now? Trying to find him.
Bobby. Don, come up here because I want to give you his number so we can check in with him. Come up here, Don. Oh, Kamala's on the phone with him. Cool. Tell him it's all our fault. We have technical issues all the time. It's on me. I hit the wrong button, and please come back. Don't be upset. But while we're waiting, Billy Lively, can you come off of mute for a minute? Nobody can? Don, people have to be able to come off mute. Guess I better call Don. Don,
Yeah, I'm here. I was on my way up there to help you. Hold on.
Let everybody come off mute. Yeah, she's got everybody on mute, Kamala. I don't know. I would let you speak. You want me to still second? Don, I see him. He has to be able to come off mute. I see you, Bobby. Don't go nowhere.
Howdy, guys.
There we go. Thank you.
Nothing else I ever do is simple. I don't know why this would be any different.
Thanks for being with us, man.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I'm sure it's on us. I have no doubt. It's on. I live.
John Graham did this. You know that,
huh?
John Graham did this. He's afraid I'm going to talk about him.
Yeah, he probably did. I lived in. There's the first thing I need to know. I lived in Plano, Texas for a couple of years. I lived out there. I was head of training and distributor development for a company out there. And like in the mid 90s, Texas was like booming, especially the Dallas areas like Via Viente and Mary Kay's home offices out there, Ameriplan, Advocare, all these network marketing companies all over Texas. Everybody and their brothers involved in network marketing in Texas. It's like you live in Utah or something. And how did you avoid getting involved in network marketing all these years?
Well, at that time in the early 90s, I lived out in the West Texas, the Odessa Midland area, the oil field. That's actually my home. And I knew people who were in Amway, A.L. Williams and such, but it just didn't seem like it fit because I consider myself a introverted extrovert. I didn't want to have to go out and just like what you were describing with the Shakely thing earlier is you got to do this, you got to build a team and what. And that just didn't interest me. Now I knew about it, but it flat just didn't interest me.
Wow.
And I was starting a new career. That's when I was starting my new career as in the optical area, in the optical arena. And I was not an optometrist. I need to clarify that because some of my friends will see this and say I'm claiming to be one. I work for an optometrist.
Gotcha.
In private optometry, and then I worked for two major optical firms around I call them the double aught years and whatnot.
Okay, well, we've said many times, Ihub Meta is really the furthest thing from a traditional MLM or affiliate company. It's more B2B. But so how did you get involved in this and why? I mean, I'm just curious, how did you join? What happened?
Well, my other job, the job that I do when I work for the metal building company is and my screen just changed. I don't know if that means something.
I don't know either.
Okay.
I can see you there.
And John Graham was a dealer or is a dealer for that company. And he and I have known each other, I guess, close to 5 years now, something to that effect. I don't know, may not be that long, but I know it seems that long to him. And we were having a chat one night about, I don't know, tearing up the political schemes and all of that. What's the economy going to do and all of, you know, I said, I just worry about my retirement. I think I actually told him that. And he used the words bird nest on the ground. He said, he said, I've got something I'm going to send you. And so he sent me the link to, I can't remember if it was to the corporate video or if it was to one of your videos, one of the first times that we did anything. And I listened to it and I thought, that's kind of odd. They're giving stuff away and things happen. One thing happened after another. And then the thought come up, and John's a good salesman because he started talking about, hey man, they're fixing to close the enrollment on this. They're going to close and I really hadn't made up my mind at that time if I was going to do it or not, because I was still investigating it. And I thought, man, if I don't want to do it, that's okay, but I don't want to try to do it and then not be able to. And so I went ahead and signed up. And even when I signed up, I really wasn't sure about it, but I'd listened to some videos and did some practice stuff. And that's before we had all the tools in place that we have now. And the first thing I went after was people I know the best, because I wanted to get going and whatnot. And I took this to my investment advisor and we sat down and I showed him the video. He got halfway through the video. He cut it off. He said, Bobby, send me one. And that shocked me. And I said, okay, why? What's the deal? And he said, man, he said, this doesn't cost us anything. And he said, we have a chance at making some, I mean, he did your deal. And that's what, and I think that validation is whenever I really took off. And I made up my mind then that I was not going, we're going to go full bore with this, whatever full bore is. And in my idea and somebody else's idea of full bore is different, I know, but I wasn't going to, I jumped in both feet and ran with it.
Yeah, and guys, that's such an important point, because there's people that are here tonight, they'll be watching this. They go and talk to their friend and their friend says, nah, that's not for me. And the opposite effect happens for people. You know, what if his friends, that's ridiculous. That's one of those, you know, we might not be talking to him tonight. Bob Cripps in his book, Raising a Giant, says, most people who quit building teams quit in their first 72 hours.
Wow.
Because the first person, second person they talk to says, nah, and they're done. So that was a real important point. And I'll be honest, you know, the first time we talked on the phone, you seemed, I think it was right after you joined, John hooked us up and said, Dale, you know, I want you to talk to this guy.
Scared me to death. I thought I was getting fired.
Huh?
Scared me to death. I thought I was getting fired. I told Johnson, what's he talk to me for? What did I do?
Yeah, well, but you maybe had made 10 Club or something, but honestly, you seemed a little standoffish, skeptical, kind of distrusting. Like, this guy's waiting for me to give him the big pitch to why he needs to be full-time. Because you kept saying, well, I'm just part-time. I'm not, you know, I'm going to do this when I can and when I can work it in and all that. But by the end of the call, I felt like we had a pretty good understanding of each other. I mean, I really did. I mean, it was almost like I was talking to an old friend. So
you have that effect on people, Dale.
But anyway, how has your understanding and perception of what we're doing and what this team is really all about changed since the first time we got on the phone?
Oh, immensely. The thing of it is you gotta keep the main thing, and that's the idea. You have to stay focused. But the main thing I had to do personally is I had to get this thing out of my head and into my heart, because I truly believe that what we do is helping businesses and helping people. We're not even selling it. We're giving them something. They have an opportunity, just like everybody on this team has an opportunity to do something really, really different with their lives. And I looked at that and I said, I'm just going to jump in. I'm just going to do it, because that's usually what I do with anything anyhow, is people know me very well. It's an all or nothing deal. I don't halfway anything. And that's basically what it was.
how impressed were you with the team that we have after you got started getting around them a little bit on these Zoom calls?
I don't want to leave anybody out, because everybody that's been on these before I've learned something from. But the thing that really gets me is Kamala and then Alan Knight. Those two hours that were spent, they really made an impression on me, because it's the truth, you know. You lose, or the boos and the cheers are all between your ears, but the love you have for people comes from your heart. And when those two people were on there, especially Kamala is, I mean, she can't say things. And this is no put down, dear. Don't take it this way, because it is an absolute compliment from the bottom of my heart. You can't say anything without tearing it. That just tells you right there. That is not fake. And for her to do what she's done and had the ability to do it, and then Alan comes right in behind her and he does the things that he's done. I'm thinking, I need to learn from these people, because if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which is that simple.
Okay, so the second time we talked, I know you'd made the 10 Club then. You were talking about how, you know, it's been real simple. It hadn't been easy, but it's been simple. And you made the statement, you know, I had to learn how to yank doors just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell somebody that been around for a while, not in the 10 Club yet, only because, not that life is happening or they're coming up with excuses of not having time, but the truth is, it's just they can't seem to get themselves in a rhythm or routine. What would you tell those people?
I think I'd have to say exactly what my daughter said to her little brother back in high school, and he brought home his report cards and they were just C's. And Jade looked at him and she said, Justin, anybody can be average. And that has stuck with me all of these years. Anybody can be average. And being involved with the book club and the Grant Cardone 10X rule, average goes a pretty long way. It goes a lot further than I thought it would. I've got to change my expert, because I don't want to be average. I'm tired of being average.
Right. You're really rare from the standpoint that you have gotten yourself plugged in from day one. It's like, okay, I remember seeing you on these Zooms with your camera on. Most people turn, it's like, who is that guy? I can't remember who that guy is. And it took, you know, but you're on there, you're plugged in. And then every corporate call, I always scroll down and see how many people are on our team or here. You're on the corporate calls, you were plugged into the book club. You're in the Facebook group, you're welcoming new people, and you've been here 2 weeks, which is a great sign. But you got plugged into this team. And some people kind of seem to have a problem carving out the time to get plugged in, to fill out their weekly progress report like you did tonight, and just doing the necessary activities. Especially people that have been around for a while, it's like it's really hard for them to take any kind of direction from anybody in general. And you're military, not gruff, but the first time
ask John. John Graham will tell you.
This dude's going to be such a hard head 3%er. It's like, John Graham, why did you hook me up with this guy? That was my first 60-second in my preconception when we talked. Now it went away quick, and now I'm blown away because, man, you're just plugged in. Where's that coming from? Because whatever you're drinking, I'd like to buy a lot of it to get to other people, because you're really sincerely early plugged in. You really have. Where's that come from?
I guess all of life experiences. Harlan Sanders, when did he start Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Yeah.
You know, Henry Ford, those people. I'm 69 years old. I don't have much time left. And if I'm going to do something, I got to get with it. And this is it. I mean, I'm going to make this work. If this doesn't work, it's not going to be because somebody knocks on my door and says, man, you should have been there last night. You missed it. That ain't going to happen. That will not happen. I'm not going to let that happen. And
Did you have that? Did you have that attitude when you were 40?
Probably not to the extent that I have now. I think there was a lot of things, life gets in the way. We all have our skeletons in the closet, and we all had things that happened to us here. But there's a quote. I have it. It's above my desk here. And it says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago.
That's right, buddy.
Okay. The second best time is right now.
That's right.
And
I love that quote. And my life is spent, how do we help people learn to plant trees earlier in their life?
Man, if we figure that one out, we really will help mankind,
Okay, you had the same work ethic, everything that you have now when you were 40.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not picking on you in general, but I'm talking
no. I understand.
am talking about a bunch of 40-year-olds that, daggone it, need to wake up. Don't wait till you're 70 to wake up.
Well, the thing of it is, I'm not competing with anybody else on this team.
That's right.
I'm competing with the guy that's in the mirror.
That's right.
Every time I get up in the morning, when I look at that guy in the mirror, what I do yesterday that was good, and what I do yesterday that if I could do it over again, I'd do it differently. And it's something called neutral thinking. I don't know if you've heard the book,
Yes.
Trevor Moe, Neutral Thinking. That really had a big effect on me too. And I think he says something to the effect that I don't know if positive thinking works, but he says, I know negative thinking works 100% of the time. And it's just that simple.
That's right.
It's the right time. This feels like the right time for me. It just feels different. And that's a heart thing. And that's why I relate to Kamala, to Alan, anybody that gets on there and is really, really, really passionate about this. Man, I talked to Mike Culver today on the phone, and he blew me away just because it's his attitude. It's like everybody is really, really tuned into this. They're willing to help other people. I don't know enough yet to be dangerous, let alone help other people. But we got to pass that along.
That's it. The last time we talked, you said, I feel like for the first time in my life, I have the opportunity to create financial independence. I'm not going to take it for granted. I'm going to give it all I have, and you certainly have. Where do you see yourself by the first of the year?
Well, where I see myself by the first of the year now compared to 90 days ago is two different spots. I got to be honest, because John and I had a conversation one night after, and I said, hopefully I'll get 50 done by Christmas. That'd be a good thing. Here it is, 1st of October, I just hit 52, and I'm going, man. And again, going back to the book that we're talking about, now I've got to raise that. So I want to be, by this time next year, I'd like to have 150 to 200.
That's too low.
Just that
too
simple.
low, man. You'll be at 100 by January.
That's the plan.
You will be. I'm convinced you will be.
Well, it won't be because I'm not.
All you got to do is do what you've done the last 90 days, and you're 10 times more than you did when you started.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll do it. You'll do it. So you see yourself full time here at some point?
Oh yeah. I'm going to have to. The other thing, and I don't know what we're doing on time or anything, but one of the things is, and a lot of people don't know this, John does, I think I related this to you. My wife didn't even know I was doing this till last weekend. I didn't tell my wife till last weekend. She works out of town. She flies out on Monday. I put her on a plane Monday morning, and I go pick her up on Friday afternoon. And so I had all that time to do all the things I want to do, and I'm hiding all this stuff from her. And my plan was, in about a year, I'm going to present her with a check, and we're going to pay off our house. Well, things start happening, and it's taking. I got to do some more time. And I said, I'm going to have to tell her. I'm going to have to tell this woman. And so I did. I let her know. Last weekend we were in Panama City, Florida, and I let her know about it, exactly what I was doing and how I was doing it. And now you guys, everybody's on here thinks Dale's rough. That woman is on me. I got off the phone before we got, she says, how many did you sign today? She's always wanting to know how many players I put in place today. What'd you do? Okay. How many people did you talk to? You know, you can't do it. We're creating a monster is what we're doing, but I'd rather have that than somebody coming in and
That's right.
there's I have no idea what next year is going to be like, but I know this, I'm going to be here to find out.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this up and take some questions from
Well,
people?
I want to thank you for the opportunity and the leadership that you've given everybody that I talked to, that's helped me. And I Kamala, Alan, all of you guys that I've talked to on the telephone, they're so nice and so cordial. It's like I'm not bothering them. And I know they got 10,000 things going on like I do. And I just appreciate it. In wherever you go, Dale, just make sure there's room enough for two.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Bobby, if people want to contact you, what's the best way to do that? You're in Lavon, Texas, right?
Yes, sir. Right outside of Dallas, just outside of Dallas. I'm on the opposite side of Dallas from where Gordy and them are.
Okay.
The Metroplex. My telephone number is 972-567-1471. If something happens and I don't answer it, please leave a message because I got 50,000. I had 77 calls today. So
yeah. I gotta say this real quick. Somebody said, Dale, you're nuts. You let your top people give out their phone number on your podcast. People are going to be recruiting them into other programs. I said, dude, when you got the best thing in the marketplace, if somebody from XYZ company can come in and swipe them up and take them, get them out of here. They're not here anyway. They can take all they want. I'll send you to my database because what you're doing can't compete with what we've got, period. End of story. That's just the truth. So y'all that have been sending me these messages, quit. If you're watching this and you say, you shouldn't let them do that. I'm not worried about it. People are going to poach your team. They ain't poaching my team. My team's never been poached, and it won't be, because if it's not the best thing out there, I'm not going to be part of it. Sorry. Okay, my controller's here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Y'all have questions? I see Dave Johnson's got a question. We'll go to Dave first. He's got his hand up for Bobby. Dave, can you come off mute, man? We still got this recording, right? Yeah. Okay, hold on just a second. I don't know what she's doing. Dave Johnston. Yes, sir.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. I just joined this. It looked like I was on, but I've got a meeting at work that happens every night, and it is what it is. And I heard that last part, and I definitely want to talk to you, Bobby, and I am going to go 100%. It doesn't matter what I've faced or anything at this point. I'm going to reiterate what Dale said. Try poaching me. I ain't going nowhere. This is the best thing since sliced bread, and this personal development has been what I have been craving and looking for years, and I am so grateful for you guys, and that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thanks,
Dave. Appreciate it, man.
Kurt Summer. It's trying to load, Kurt. There you go. No, he didn't make it. Let's go to John Graham, and Kurt, come back if you can.
Oh my gosh, you better be easy, John.
Hey, man. Oh, man. I have enjoyed this thoroughly. Without question, you are a monster maker. I enjoyed what you had to share, man. We're just two brothers from different mothers, and that's the long and the short of it. And feel the same way about Dale. And I've just got to get my time situated and I'll be there.
I'm
be
coming,
there.
John. John, I'm coming up, or I told you. I'm coming
Okay,
up there.
okay. But come on and coach me just a little bit, and we'll get things rolling, man. Love you and appreciate you, man.
Hey,
More than you
man,
know.
same here.
You
I'll
bet.
talk to you.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
You
Good
bet.
seeing you,
Thank you,
John.
man.
Kurt, did you make it back on? Anybody else have any questions? Raise your hand now. Hey, Mike Culver.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Mr. Gandy,
Yes,
I have
sir.
a question for you. You have such wisdom. The boos and the cheers happen in between your ears. Come on. So that was amazing. I'm curious, you're doing this part-time. I'm curious if you could maybe explain to us a little about if you into a rhythm or a routine, and how you're managing your time in your growth.
The job that I have, my other job, which is quickly becoming my part-time job, I do that Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And because of that, I'm required to travel around, and I travel to 4 states. And when I first started this, I told John, I said, well, I'm going to get out of my element. I'm going to get out of Texas, and I'm going to practice my craft someplace else. Like I started out in Arkansas, I was going to practice there. Well, I had a couple people bite on it. Well, that kind of shocked me. I thought, uh-oh, this thing's really working and whatnot. But to answer your question, the routine I have is anytime I go anywhere, if there's a television, or even if it isn't a television, and we talk about fear. My definition of fear, I've got it written here, says find excuses to advance relentlessly. Find an excuse to advance. And if I get a feeling somewhere, man, I'm not going to go in there. I don't need to talk to them about that. I go. I just flat go. But I ask them about their television. I ask them who's responsible for the TV. I've used the $20 thing. I'm the guy that does that. I go in and lay down a $20 bill and tell them if I mention the word sell or mention the word buy, this money's yours. And it's like Kamala said on her when she was talking, you've got to break their thinking, because they think you're going to sell them something. They think we're in there to sell them something.
That's right.
And we're not. We're there to give them something. And I think that's what makes this so easy for me. If we had to sell this, I don't know what we would do.
I think we could still sell it, but I'm glad we don't have to.
Oh, yeah.
Tom.
That answer your question, Mike?
Mike, I get it. He's on the road. He's told me, he said, if I see something, if I get the feeling I need to pull over that restaurant when I'm on the road, I just pull over and walk in the restaurant.
Dude, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's on the road all week.
I'll tell you a funny story. It happened just today if we have the time later.
Yeah, we do. Then Tom and then Camel. Go ahead.
Well, I was in Oklahoma coming home, and I stopped to get gas, and I gassed up and I couldn't get a receipt. So like we all do, I walk in and it's, I don't know what it is. And lo and behold, guess what? They've got 3 TVs. Well, I don't have my phone with me. I don't have anything with me. And so the TV had a sports center running or something like that. And there was a lady that was giving orders, and she was talking to other people about doing this, that, and the other. And she said, can I help you? I guess she saw me. And I said, yes, ma'am. I said, I'd like to know. I said, who's responsible for your television channels there? And she says, well, she said, we actually just opened. And she said, I can't remember exactly what she said. And I said, listen, I said, I've got a 2-minute and 47-second video that I'd like for you to listen to. It's something that I think could help you in your business. And she said, well, it's not up to me. It's up to our manager. And I said, is she here? And she said, yes. I said, great. Well, before I knew it, her manager walks up. Well, I still don't have anything on me. I don't have anything to show. And so I'm just trying to go through a spill and whatnot, gauge their interest. She says, go get it. I said, absolutely. So I went out, got my phone, come back in, got everything set up, played the video for her. She says, that's fantastic. She said, I'm going to give this to our owner. She said, we have over 500 of these stores throughout Oklahoma. And I tell you that because 95% of the people that I've talked to is stuff I just run into. I just run into it. I have no intention of doing anything, but you just happen to be there. You ask a question, don't ever take it for granted that somebody's going to tell you no, because the question you don't ask, that the answer is no. If you don't ask the question, the answer is no.
That's right. That's
And you
right.
never know.
Tom in Chicago.
Hey, Bobby, I got 3 things. The first 2 are compliments. I just want to say I never would have guessed you were 69.
Thank you.
The energy you bring is amazing. And I'm so glad you're on this team, okay? Because I really want you to rub off on all of us, including me. My question for you is, how do you feel about building a team now with network marketing?
Well, Dale and I have spoken about that, and that's the next chapter, I think. I'm being very particular about who I think might do it. There's been 2 people. There was a lady last night. She's going to do it. She's just trying to get some things arranged. And there's another lady that I don't know. I thought she was really hot to trot about it and ready to go. And she's had one thing after another keep coming up. It's excuse-itis is basically what it is. But I don't have a problem in the world, but I think it's great. Absolutely. And that's what we're going to work on. And I need you guys' help with that, because you're the ones that pull all of that together and all of those avenues to go down.
Cool. Thanks.
Kamala, then Dexter. Good seeing you.
Well, I just want to thank Bobby for an amazing job tonight, and how like he's wonderful on the phone. He like we talk back and forth, and he's helped me a lot. So before I start to cry, I want to say thank you, Bobby.
You bet, darling.
Dexter.
Hey, thanks, Dale.
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby. Hey, man,
Yes, sir.
I'm this is amazing. Have you ever heard that you look like Dave Ramsey?
He does.
Yeah.
You didn't even do that.
Well, hey, it's the money. It's the money.
Is that a
I dig
compliment,
that.
I guess?
That's
No,
that's
a
a
new one.
compliment. That's a compliment.
I can't tell you. My wife's always telling me that I look like somebody. I can't even tell you who it is because I got some things going through my head yet. But
I hear you. That's good. So I just got one question. Have you,
Sure.
What time of day have you seen the most success? If you had to gauge.
oh, that's a great question. I would say probably
Until
I do the
3.
best or anywhere from 10:30 till 11:30 in the morning before the lunch run hits.
Yeah.
You're going into a restaurant or something to that effect. And then after 8:30 in the evening, 7:30 actually, 7:30 to 9 o'clock in the evenings, after everything's kind of slowing down. If you walk in and there's a lot of people in there, I don't even mention it. I won't even bring it up because it's crazy. And the last thing they want to talk about is some guy that says he isn't selling them anything. But I would say those are the 2 best times that I've done something.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Philip.
Hey, Bobby, real quick, with you being on the road, how are you doing with your follow-ups? Are you just calling them, emailing them, or what's your process?
That's one part of my game I wish I was better at is follow-ups, is doing that. And I work so much off the cuff, just if I get a feeling of something that I've got to get better organized and come up with the follow-ups. But surprisingly, a lot of the players that I've placed come from follow-ups. But I'm very inconsistent, extremely inconsistent with it.
I'm guilty
My
too.
average, I would say 2 to 3 times. If it's not after that, then I can go back and look at my calendar and do stuff. But you need to help me with that, Philip, because I saw that on Facebook. I know what you're doing, big boy.
We both need help. I need help. Dale.
I've said it till I can't say it no more. Follow-up is more important than initial contact. Period. End of story.
Yep.
Alan Knight.
Uh-oh.
No, nothing to about. Not
You're a
dangerous.
radio star, Alan. Come on.
I don't know. No, you know what? I thank you for tonight. I really appreciate it and the conversations that we've had. You clearly have way more wisdom than you let on, which is awesome. You're definitely an asset to the team. And I know we'll get to see a whole lot more of that over time. And it's, for me, it's just knowing there's a whole crew and everybody's welcome to join the crew, but there's a crew of you that I know you're out there. And that's what keeps me out there, is like, I don't have any doubt that you're out there, you know, like yanking a door. And so knowing that you're out there has me go, man, what, you're gonna let him yank a door? You know, I operate on that same fear principle every day, multiple times a day. I'm afraid, you know, and I don't want to go back. I don't want to, like today I had to go to a place 3 times. I'm going to go tonight. I'm going out. I told my wife I got to go back out because I couldn't get a hold of the guy. But it's like, because I don't want to live with that fear. I don't want to drive away knowing that I'd let myself down because I was unwilling. I'm aware of the fear now. And it's like, it's better to be ignorant, kind of, but it's like, I'm aware of the fear. And so I know it's like, I got to deal with it because it'll eat at my confidence if I don't. So I really appreciate having you. You're going to be a huge resource for the team. And so thanks for being on.
Well, thanks, Alan. I really appreciate you and everybody else. And I can't tell you the times I've turned around. I'm not kidding you. I cannot tell you that. Nope, I'm going back. I'm going to go back. And
I do it every day.
every day.
Mike Calvert, I'm gonna let you end it up. We got 6 minutes until the corporate call. Just kind of rehash your week, man. 69 points. I saw a lot of singles and doubles and triples for you this week, but just what happened for you this week, Mike Calvert?
Well, things happened to me. This 10X book with Grant Cardone is amazing. I rearranged my goals. I got a call from someone whose name is Mr. Dale Calvert, who told me to plan my work and work my plan. And he told me that just before the weekend. And I sat and mulled it over all weekend. And I decided that what I was going to do was I was going to dedicate and I was spending so much time with other things than pulling doors, a lot of phone calls, things like that. I decided what I was going to compartmentalize my days. And I implemented a plan this week where my morning I would do follow-ups on the phone. And then over lunch hours, I would call my team and check in with them. And then every day from 1 to 5, I would go pull on doors. And I did that every day this week. And I was able to, I signed up a few. Yeah, the truth of the matter is almost everybody I pitched signed up. I was on a hot streak today. I mean, every door I pulled was, I think I got 2 maybes and the rest were yeses. And then one of the businesses I had to sign up, I don't drink alcohol, but it was at a bar called the Tarnation Tavern, and it cost me 4 Busch Lights. The owner kept buying me Busch Light beers, and I remember some book that said you always say yes, and so there I was. I came home, and my wife has been cracking the whip on me too. But my wife, I came home and I told my wife, I said I got 2 businesses signed up today, 9 screens, and I had 4 beers and going to bed. So that was my day because I have 0 tolerance for alcohol. But honestly, Dale, I just really want to tell you that simple sentence that you told me: plan your work and work your plan. It really resonated with me, and I just committed to structuring my day a little bit more instead of just being scattered all over the place. And I dedicated some time and energy towards those things. And I couldn't have done it just off of Grant Cardone and Dale Calvert. The truth of the matter is I have a wonderful wife cracking the whip on me as well. So, and she's here sitting, we got you guys broadcast on the big screen in the living room, and Brian Johnson's here. We cooked him dinner as well on the Zoom call. So we're having a little Zoom call party as well. So we're consolidating our energies that way too.
Very cool. And we had a very detailed conversation, just so you guys, I didn't know you were going to say that, but we had a very detailed conversation about why you needed to plan your work and work your plan. It wasn't like just something that was pulled out of the air. It was something we talked about, and that was definitely where you were at. And just good to see you moving forward, man, and everybody else. I mean, everybody else, just crushing it, just crushing it. So, Bobby,
Mike,
you
I
were
just wanted to thank you for your help with the company reports.
yeah.
They are awesome. They are amazing, like so much easier than before. And I just wanted to acknowledge all your efforts in that and tell you thank you.
Yes, Mike. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes, it's my pleasure.
Bobby,
Yes, sir.
you hit the nail on the head, and I knew you would. And I hope a lot of people heard what you were saying. And y'all will hear me say this from now on. We all travel the same road. And I think you really drove that point home. Thanks for being here. Think bigger, like really think 300 by this time next year, because you could do that. That might even be too small. But at
In
least
the words of the blonde boss of the family, she always says, persistence removes resistance.
that's right. Okay, guys, it's time to jump on the corporate call. They're gonna
Bye, y'all. Thanks for everything. Thanks for
thank you, Bobby. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Bobby.
Great
Thank
job,
you.
Bobby. Thank you.
Everybody did awesome.
Thank you, Bobby. It was great.
Enjoyed it.
It's good stuff.
Enjoy bald-headed men.
I got you too.